And we're recording. Okay, so hi everyone. I wanted to introduce you to someone that really inspired me lately when I came across her story, and I actually have a friend that's related to her, and I didn't even know this till a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to connect me to her. So this is May Lu, right? Did I say that right?
Mai,
sorry. Mai is an inventor. She's the CEO and founder of Crea Clip. She's also the author of Get Your Woman On. I love that title. And Take the Next Step. And she's also a motivational speaker. So she's quite an accomplished young woman. And in 2008, she was also recognized in the Cambridge's Who's Who's as one of the top 4 businesswomen. And she was also nominated for the best new product in 2008, 2009, 2010 by the Stevie Award for Women in Business, just to name a few of her noble nominations. So if you could just walk us through your journey of where the idea was born to now where it all sits today.
Wow, that's a long story, but I'll make it short.
Yeah.
Well, first, I was a hairstylist. I've always was creative growing up, and I loved doing hair. Mm-hmm. And I always wanted to go. I was good in art and math, and I thought, well, I want to do something creative, so I started as a hairstylist. But after doing hair for, I think it was 10, 15 years, I realized I wanted to create more liberty in my life. And I wanted to be able to, I had just found this new passion for surfing, and I wanted to create passive income so I could surf all day if I wanted to. Nice. And so I started asking the question, how can I make money while I sleep? Yeah. That was the question I'd ask. And, beautiful law of attraction, just a week later, I came up with an idea for an invention. And because I was in the beauty industry, it was related to hairdressing. So I thought of a tool, because the time I was, when they say find a problem and solve it, right? So at that time, as a hairstylist, so many of my clients would cut their own bangs, and they would cut their kids' hair. And me as a child, my mom used to cut my hair growing up, and she gave me the most horrible bangs. So I thought, even though I gave them free bang trims, a lot of my clients didn't have time to come into the salon. So I thought, why not invent a product that makes it a lot easier for them to cut their hair at home? So that's how I came up with the Crea Clip. And, at that time, I was just a hairstylist, so I didn't really know anything about inventing. So I learned myself at home. I read all kinds of books. I went to networking forums, and I pretty much taught myself how to invent. And I made a prototype. And after about two years of developing and the prototype and everything, I actually was able to launch my product on Home Shopping Network. And it was a huge dream of mine, because when I had that vision, I thought this would be a great product to be on TV. And so here I am on Home Shopping Network with my product, and I sell out a product within 13 minutes, and I sold over 5,000 units. It was a huge dream come true. Wow. And from then, it's just, went, what's the word? I don't know how to describe it, but it's been amazing. After being on Home Shopping Network, a lot of my videos on YouTube went viral. And at that time, YouTube was just becoming popular. So I had a lot of my videos on YouTube, and people were discovering my product then, and it went viral. And so people were buying it all over the world. Yeah. And then Shark Tank, so and when Facebook became popular, one of my videos went viral on Facebook, and over 20 million views saw my product. I sold out a product, and that's when Shark Tank saw my product and contacted me. The casting director contacted me and said, hey, we think Crea Clip is amazing. Would you be interested in being on Shark Tank? And, of course you'd have to submit a video, and like everybody else, but it was really interesting that they scouted me and invited me. So I thought, oh, this is great. And I actually haven't shared with a lot of people is that I actually set a goal to be on Shark Tank 2 years ago prior to that. So again, I believe, the power of this intention, and being clear on what you want and setting goals. These are all the tools I use to create success. And because I had that vision to be on Shark Tank, and then 2 years later they contacted me, and I go on the show and sell out a product, and another huge dream come true. And that brings us to here today of me now. A lot of people are inviting me to speak at schools, which, I mean, this is another passion. Is like, I want to make a difference in my community. I want to make a difference in, speaking to entrepreneurs. And so me actually speaking at all the schools here in Hawaii is another dream come true too, to be able to help young entrepreneurs invent products and also just to follow their dreams. So made it a little short so that we could include everything in there.
So who did you get the deal with on Shark Tank? With Lori?
Yeah, I got a deal with Lori. The episode is, if you watch season 7, episode 27. So you could actually YouTube that, or if you have, ABC, you can watch that online.
Oh, that's so exciting. I would see her being all over that. That's like totally her thing. She has her own shopping channel, right?
Yeah, she's like the queen of QVC, and she has her own, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So, like, how did you know, though, that was the idea? Were you able to hold space and really nurture that idea and to come see it all come to life?
So, when I first had the idea, the idea came to me as more of a function, the product, because it changed over time. It started off with what I tell people all the time when they're developing a product is just make the first prototype, and then you're going to be able to tweak it and it'll change. And because that's what happened to me. When I first made the prototype, it was like this big shield that you put on your back, and I was thinking, okay, this is way too big. Nobody's going to buy this. How do we make it smaller? So then that's how I slowly thought of ways to make it into a sleek curved clip. And then from there I came up with like a smaller version of it. And so like at first I thought of the idea of how do I create this tool so that people can cut their hair better at home. And then from there it just developed because I just had this burning desire and this vision to develop it. Mm-hmm.
And were you like excited like the whole way through, like to developing, to getting it out there? Was there ever
I was on fire. Yeah, I was totally on fire, and I can't believe like how fast everything happened. And I think because I was on fire, that people that had negative comments, it just bounced right off me. Like I had people laugh at me, and it was like saying, "Do you really think you're gonna invent a product?" And so I was so grateful that I was so clear and had this burning desire that it didn't affect me, because it was like, no, yeah, I'm going to develop this product. I'm so excited. I'm passionate about it. Like when I started developing it, like actually had the prototype in my hand and tested it and it worked. That was such an amazing experience. And like, it gave me confidence, like, oh my God, this is going to work because I just tested it. Look at these results. And then also surrounding myself with positive, like-minded people that supported me, because I knew when I was around negative people, it affected my thinking a little bit. But when I had friends that supported me and they said, this is great, it's an amazing product, that also helped push me. Yeah.
No, for sure. And I'm just like coming to realize how important it is to really grow your network to people that are like-minded and that really want to see you level up just as much as I want to see them level up, because I'm on the same journey and it's not always easy. And some people are just, not that they don't mean well, but the things that they say just really can.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my other question was, how do you deal with the challenges and the negativity and the fear?
Oh yeah, and I say people think I don't have fears, but I do, and they get even bigger. But I get way better now. I am way better now at managing my fears over the years, because there's a number of things that I do, and a lot of the new awarenesses that I have now that I never did. I don't know if you know, but before I became a hairstylist, I was doing full contact fighting before. I was to compete in fighting as an athlete. I trained in China for 2 years. And at that time, I noticed whenever I was afraid, it affected my performance. So I knew when I was going to win a match or lose a match because of how I was feeling the night before. If I was really like confident and solid, I would win. But then the night before, if I was fearful, it really drained my energy. And so back then I used to say, I wish I knew how to manage my fears better. And then now, knowing what I know, what I do is like there's a number of things. The number one thing is I notice being just aware that I am in a state of fear helps me disidentify from it. And to the awareness that fear only exists in the future. So it's actually an illusion of that is not true. So I find myself, when I notice that I'm in a fearful state, I shift back into the present moment. So when I am in the present moment, fear does not exist. And on top of that, if I'm constantly focusing on what I'm grateful for, it automatically shifts my state. And so you can't be fearful and grateful at the same time. So that's what I do with fear. And for challenges, because I've had so many challenges along the way, but you know what? Because I am so committed into growing, and that it's my ride is like this, like it goes up, because every time I break through a challenge, I'm jump to next level, and then the next level. So what I do is I always say this. I remember at the beginning, I learned that there's always solutions to every challenge. So I just find a solution. So I would say that. And then instead of thinking, oh my God, this is the end of my dream, because I remember I had that voice back then. And say, this is the end of your dream, now you've got to go back to Canada and live with your mom, and it was believable at times. And I really thought I was going to have to go home. But after a while of finding solutions, I was thinking, oh my God, yeah, there's always a solution. And then after all this time of finding solutions, I realized there's many solutions. So I actually take more time now to think and choose what is the best solution.
Yeah.
I think just changing my mindset, to automatically go into solution mode versus thinking of or being stuck as a victim or thinking negatively. I shift to think more positively and solution oriented.
Yeah, and now it just becomes probably a natural way that you think, right?
Now it's a habit. Yeah. Like it's I sometimes I don't even notice I'm doing it, but then I realize, oh, wait a minute, that would have been a huge challenge a long time ago, but look at how I handled that. Mm-hmm. And usually in the past, it would have taken me days to get over that challenge or be in the fearful state. But like I'd shift really fast now, and I'm already on to solution. I don't really stay in the fear anymore. I'm just, okay, what's the solution here?
What's the next thing? Yeah, and I did watch one of your speaking gigs that you were doing, and I love when you brought up the fact that every time there's a challenge, behind that there's something great that's waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, that makes it even more exciting. So instead of thinking, oh my God, this is horrible, I think, wow, maybe this is happening for a reason, and there's something great for me around the corner. And that's what I create, And you know what? It's always been like that. I look back at all my challenges. I am so grateful that it happened that way, because now in the future, I'm thinking, wow, I'm so grateful that it did happen, because this is way better.
Yeah. Do you ever have the feeling that sometimes a challenge is just there to kind of get you back on the track where you needed to be?
So true, because I think if there's no challenge, you're not going to grow. So sometimes, life may give you challenges so you can grow and so you can learn and empower yourself. I find whenever I remember, when I created all this success, I kind of took a couple of years of just, I'm just going to surf all day. So I started to slack a little, and life gives me a bunch of challenges. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I've been out of practice. I need to get back on track here. And And I started getting back onto because I noticed once I stopped, thinking positive and setting goals, you kind of lose it. Not lose it, but like lose those habits, those thinking processes. Like, this is what I say to people is that it's like going to the gym. If you stop lifting weights, those muscles, aren't as strong. And not only they are not that strong, you start to lose them. So for me, it's a daily practice that I constantly be present, set goals, shift my thoughts to more positive, be grateful. These are all the tools I use on a daily basis. And I love growing now because I see how much it has transformed my life. So I get excited when I learn something new, when I have a new awareness, or like just 2 months ago, I think it was March, I went to Tony Robbins' seminar. That was so amazing. 10,000 people, like-minded people, and we're here shifting to, our peak state, like this is life, this is living, So I noticed that, now that I'm speaking more, I'm like, this is what I love. I just love sharing to people how I created success so they can also create the same. Yeah.
No, I love that. To be able to kind of put that light on someone else's path and be like, hey, it is totally possible. And I'm really glad that you're taking the time right now to jam it out with me and share your journey and what's been for you. So I know that you just mentioned one of the practices that you do is goal setting. So how do you do that? Do you write it down? Do you have a vision board? Like, what's your trick with the goal thing?
So I do a number of things, but I find myself really enjoying the process of vision boards. I'm on my third vision board because my first two have all come true. Yeah, it's amazing how maybe like 98% of my things that I put on my board has come true. So then I need to do a new one. And so I've been doing a lot of vision board workshops for the kids here in Hawaii, and they just love it. And it's so easy. It's a fun way to set goals when you think about it, because it gets you to think about what you want. And majority of the people don't take the time to think about what they want. And so with the vision board, it makes it easy. It makes you think about what you want, not what is possible. So then you dream big, you think big. It's not a list of what you think may happen or you think that can happen. It's more like, what do you want? Right. Yeah, because you can get stuck. And so I do the vision board. I also do what I do is the master plan. I went to Dr. DeMartini's seminar once. It's his master planning seminar, and so I actually do that now. I keep the practice, and what they did was, you spend a whole weekend and you write down your vision, your goals for the year. You break it down to monthly goals, and so I've been to several goal setting workshops, and so for me, my practice is I constantly write down my yearly goals, and then I break it down. But even now to daily goals that I write down the day before what I want to achieve in the next day, because I find that if I don't, then my day fills with low priority things. And so for me, because I'm so busy, I want to be most effective and on purpose. So you sometimes you could, be busy, but you're busy doing things that are not important. You know what I mean? Like, even though you're busy being productive, but it's like, what were some of the things I did want to accomplish? What are some of my goals? Am I working towards my vision? So goals really keep you on track. And also, I find that when I set goals, I think big. It gets me to think really big and like what I want to create.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I love that. And I've never been to one of his workshops, Dr. DeMartini, that you just mentioned, but he does have this form online, and it's free. Like, anybody can go and do it. And it just breaks out, it's really well done. I don't know if you've done it, and it kind of takes you through what your highest values are and stuff like that. And it gets down to really, the important, where your values and all that stand. And I really enjoy that little worksheet that he sent. So.
Oh, yeah. So, you asked me earlier, do I write it down? Yeah, I write it down. I have it on a vision board. I visualize it. I do it all. I hear my phone going off. Let me turn it off. Yeah. So, yeah, I do it all. But for me, the most fun part is the vision boards, because I get to put it up and I see it all the time. And then, I put it up, but then and then I forget about it, because then I come back and I'm like, oh my God, this came true, this came true, this came true. I mean, just, yeah, yesterday I realized, today I'm actually the plan, like, oh my God, I wanted to.
Oh, I can't hear you. I think you.
What's that?
I can't hear you. I think you have something like having the.
Oh,
oh, good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So like, I mean, even now I'm constantly thinking, oh my God, I set that goal, a year ago, and it just came true. So, it's amazing it's good to write it down, because then you realize, oh yeah, I did set that intention a long time ago, and it's coming true now.
And so do you write it down like once a day or twice a day?
Oh, no.
Or more in the time?
It actually, I most of the time write once a day, but sometimes I'm really messy, so then I rewrite it. And then when I get overwhelmed, I'm like, oh my God, it's all over the place. So then I'll rewrite it by the end of the day. But I kind of like the process. Like sometimes I have these notes, I've done it where it's on my phone, but then my phone gets a little overwhelming because I have so much going on my phone. Yeah. So now I just have a bright pink notepad that I write them down, and then I just bring that and I look at that, and each day I write new ones. And so it makes it fun for me. And then it's fun to check them off, because then it's like a reward. Like, I did this, Yeah. And I find that when you actually set goals, or even just daily tasks, and you actually do it builds your self-confidence and your self-esteem. Yeah. Because you've now, each time you keep your word, and it builds your integrity and everything. So it's so much, you get so much benefit from it. Not only getting your dreams, but it builds self-confidence, and yeah.
It leaves you feeling empowered for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question is kind of like, to the next part, is what inspired you to start writing those books of yours?
Oh, because people were always asking me
these questions,
to coach them, to mentor them, and I only have so much time, right? And I also wanted to be able to give back and help people. So the book is the easiest and most effective way to reach out to people, especially putting a lot of knowledge into one tool. So that's how the book came along. And then after writing my first few books, I realized, hey, I should be writing along my journey, just so that later on I can compile it and put it in a book. And because I noticed that it was so hard to remember what happened 5 years ago or 2 years ago. So I thought, well, I'm just going to write all the time whenever I feel inspired. And most of the time it's on the plane. I work on my master plan, and also writing my book, or anytime there's a special event or a lesson that I learned or had a breakthrough, I write down. But it's the purpose to be able to share with others some of I don't know. There's part of me that really get inspired when I see somebody follow their dreams. So there's a part of me that just want to help people, and so the book is just a great way to share that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And do you find, like, in the process of writing all those things that happen and the breakthroughs and all that stuff, that it kind of gives you a different perspective in learning, like, what actually happened?
You know what it does too? It allows me to be in a better state too. Like when I'm writing it, I start to feel grateful. I feel empowered. So and then I have little other insights, like you said. Like I'll be writing and it'll be like, oh my God, this is connected to this, and then I have a new lesson. And so like there's so many things that happen when I'm writing. And I love going back and reading it. It's like, wow, I could see the progress and how much I've grown, and just remember the time when that happened, and how that has affected me today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just get more clarity, like, to move forward as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's really cool. So how long, I'm just curious, how long did it take from the moment that you kind of came up with the idea of creating, like, I know now you have other products that you've added on, but the new product, which was a Crea Clip, like, how long did that take before it really kind of got out there in the market?
So it took about 2 years. It would have taken a lot faster if I would have just gotten over, like, at first, at the beginning, I was like, I probably wasted 6 months of thinking, should I do this or should I not do this? You know, like in my head thinking, well, I don't know. All these fears come up like, oh, wait a minute, I don't have any money. I don't know how to do this. Yeah. What if I fail? So that took more time than actually going for it. And so that's why I tell people all the time, it takes more energy to hold back than to actually do it. So yeah. So it only took me probably like a year to develop this product and then get it on Home Shopping Network. And it just went on. I think also because I was so clear on purpose and on burning desire that I did it so fast.
I love that. Like the alignment factor. I really like when once you tap into it and then you get that idea and then you just run with it. But it takes that courage, right? Because it's just, like you said, you had no experience.
Yeah.
It was like a total different field and from where you came from what you've known.
Yeah.
So that must have been scary. And that's why I wanted to ask you, like, how did you protect that idea, right? Because I'm sure that so many people get these ideas and then they're just like fear and they just push it to the side.
Yeah. I mean, once I decided to just go for it, I made that decision that the momentum and the drive just went forward. And I mean, at that time I didn't know either. I'm like, oh, I want to protect this idea. What if somebody steals it? And so there's lots of ways. And I spoke with a patent attorney and he gave me ways to protect it. And then I spoke with a lot of other branding experts and they told me, even then, they told me, when your product's successful, they're going to copy you. That's just part of the business, and it's almost like a compliment, it means it's good. Yeah. So I already knew that going into it, that, okay, how can I best protect my intellectual property, and the way is to, protect the name, the trademark and the patent. And so, yeah, so unfortunately there are some knockoffs of my product, but, a majority of the people like to buy the original, and, that way they're supporting me, not, I say a crook. And the thing is, I invented this so I can create more products. So that's why I wasn't too worried. I was like, I can always create more. And I've created 2 more and I have 2 more coming. I'm super excited about. And and the thing is, I just want people to benefit from my product. So, so that's the thing. At first, when I started my business, it was about, that was the only source of income. So I was really protective and like, oh, this is, but then I was smart, and I had a lot of mentors, and they said, you need to create multiple streams of income. So that way, if anything happens to your business, you'll still be okay. And so that's why I have several businesses. I have, that's what I do. I mean, I have, the vacation rentals. I opened a shave ice shop, and it's all things that I'm passionate about. So there's other things that I'm doing. And at the same time, that way I'm not just so focused on one thing and then what if that doesn't succeed, right? Yeah. So for me, I just do what I'm passionate about. And I kind of went on with that. So what was the question again?
No, that was perfect. But so you did mention mentors. So did you acknowledge the importance right off the get-go to find the people around you that will really be able to guide you in that journey? Or did you take some time to try to figure it all out on your own?
Well, I went to this, I was really lucky that I said, I remember after I made a prototype, I said, okay, now what? Now what do I do? And law of attraction, I get this flyer that says how to invent seminar. So I go to this seminar in Hawaii, wow, thank you, universe. That was a great solution. So I went to the seminar, and there I met this amazing lady from Hawaii. Her name is Damien, and she had invented some products, and she's done it. So here I was so inspired because here's a single mom that did it and it's successful. I instantly met with her and got her to coach me, and hired her as a coach, and she helped me with the steps to inventing, connected me to networking. I went into this networking forum, and I met all my branding expert there, my attorneys and my manufacturer too. So it was way faster. When you find a mentor that already has done it, they can help guide you what to do and what not to do. So you can save yourself from doing those mistakes that, that other people have done. And so now with anything that I do, I try to have a mentor for it. For example, my vacation rental business, I have a mentor that does that. And another mentor too, he's an entrepreneur. He has several businesses, and he's told me, it's like, my real estate is a great way to diversify your investments. And so I did that, and because I saw the success he created, and then he gave me some great tips. So for me, it definitely fast-tracked me. It saved me from creating a lot of mistakes, and it's just so much easier when you have somebody supporting you and guiding you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that. And you did mention that you're now doing a lot of speaking gigs, right? You're doing the motivational speaking, and you're going into a lot of schools. So what is the main thing that you're teaching these kids? Is it to live on purpose, or to like get clear on what they want in life and to really get them in that path?
Yeah. It's just like, what are your dreams?
Yeah.
Start thinking about what is it that you want, and start. And for me, depending on which age category that I'm speaking to, most of the time I do like a vision board, and they love that. They're so excited to do the vision boards, and I love hearing from them saying, it's only been a month, and one of the things I put on my vision board already came true. So I think that's the main message, is just what are your dreams, and to start thinking about that and start taking steps towards it.
Yeah, I love that. So, Mai, thank you so much. I just wanted to ask you one last question before we tie it all up. What is the message that you want to leave to the world?
To just never give up. I know that because I was always persistent, even as a full contact fighter, I just always got up. Every time I got hit down, I got up. And my opponent says, wow, you were relentless. You always got up. And I was like, that's what I practice now in my life, is that whenever I have a challenge, I just get up and I just find a solution. And I said to my life coach 8 years ago that if I always found a solution, eventually I will get there. And so that's all you have to do. Get creative and find a solution, and you'll get your dreams.
I love that. Thank you so much, Mai, for taking the time to hang out with me. It was a pleasure, and you've totally inspired me, and now I feel like all fired up to.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and I just love this, and I can't wait to share it with all my fans on Facebook.
Thanks.